Wow, that was fast. We're live already. Hello. Hello, friends. How's it going? Happy Wednesday.
Oh yeah, it's Wednesday.
Here's your WCW.
You know who our WCW is.
Zoe. How's it going, everybody? I know it's been a bit since I uploaded a video, and so I asked a question yesterday on YouTube. Said that I was going to go live today and just talk about Airsoft and getting into Airsoft. Well, actually, I said I made a post asking what you guys want to talk about, so we're just going to go from that post, and then we'll talk to everybody on the live stream too. Let me see if I can find it so I can keep up with all your comments.
Zoe's right here. You can't see her. Come here, Zoe. You want to be on camera? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There you are. There's my WCW.
Ah! Oh no! Oh no! I did it wrong.
Dog Crush Wednesday. Oh, there's no Dog Crush.
Oh yeah, we need to have a doggo crush every day is doggo day. Obviously. Oh, whoops.
Whoa.
Sorry.
No.
Did not have my sound off for
Don't
that.
lick me, Zoe.
Hey Zoe, hello. So, I'm just gonna talk, I thought a little bit, one of the questions was to just talk about like how to get into Airsoft if you've never played, or we always get the what to buy for your first Airsoft gun, etc. So I think the best way to get into Airsoft is to go to a field.
And you can just Google that.
Yeah, Google works. There's also Airsoft C3.
Yeah.
Pretty much just find a field that does rentals. That's what you're going to want to do. I don't think it's wise to dump a ton of money into something if you don't know for sure that you're going to play a lot. So go to a field, a place that rents guns, and play a couple games. Make sure it's something that you want to stick with, so that way you don't spend a whole bunch of money and then decide you don't like it or something like that.
Bring a friend too. It's always good to have friends.
Yeah, get a friend to go with you, because airsofting by yourself is still fun, but it's way more fun with friends.
Yeah.
Some of you that are on the live stream, you may have heard this story before, but like when I lived in NorCal, I just got on Airsoft base groups and tried to make friends on there, and then ask people for rides to games. So make friends with people in that circle, and then have them teach you about Airsoft, and you're gonna have a lot more fun than to, I think anyway, do a video on how to clean your guns. I replied to this one and was like, that would be a dirty video because we never cleaned our guns.
Oh man. My Elite Force Glock was so dirty.
Yeah.
A Ziri front.
And you cleaned it right before. That's the one I've seen him clean.
I cleaned it before the game, and then Tommy cleaned it 4 times after the game, and now it's shooting good again.
Well, it was shooting so badly because
it was just dirty.
Well, didn't Dan also roll down a sand hill with it?
No, that was not mine. That was his.
Oh, okay.
He had his own Elite Force Glock. He didn't ruin mine. No.
Finding fields to play at that are not just backwood pieces of garbage like the upper Midwest, Wisconsin area. That's from Meme Machine. Again, Airsoft C3, I would just make sure, go online, look at photos. You just have to research the place that you're going to go to first. There are a lot of cool fields out there. Some of them are not that great about having an internet presence though. Yeah. So maybe scout it if you can. If you're in the area, scout it out beforehand.
That's what I did when I first, so I started off as a paintballer. So when I went to go play paintball for the first time, I went to the field just as like a normal, not a player, just to go look at the field and go talk to them and see what the field had to offer, and that'll give you a better idea as to like what you what you can do and can't do at that field. Zoe, stop. Trying to bite me now. So that's always good. Just doing a recon of the field or the place that you want to try to play at.
Oh, cool. We got a super chat from Jaybird Foxtrot. Yo, Airsoft fam. Hey, Jet. Hey, Leah. Love you guys. Hope to play with you all in the future sometime. Hashtag East Coast, Maryland. We're going to be on the East Coast next month for...
Desert Fox events, Citadel Retaliation
That's
at EMR Event Park in New Milford, Pennsylvania.
Which is a really fun field.
Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of castles. There's
helos. There's a helo.
There is?
There's a couple, aren't there? Yeah. Mm-hmm. In that one field, there's like a
helo yeah, there is. Yeah,
and like a bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's a fun field. I like it a lot.
Yeah, you can do CQB there. You can do sneaky sniper stuff. You can do backwoods stuff. You can pretty much do whatever you want there. I mean, within the rules. But also, thank you, Jaybird Foxtrot. Really appreciate it. Stuff like that is what allows us to keep doing stuff like this for you guys. So thanks again. Okay. Tommy, this is a funny one. You guys need to do a duel video where you all do cowboy-style duels and have a tournament bracket. Winner is well winner. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun, especially since Elite Force has all those revolvers now.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing Wild West stuff and like how fun it is. We did a cowboy-themed game once. We used revolvers, and it was really, really fun. We should do it again.
I still have all the revolvers. We can.
I want to.
We just gotta get 12 gram BBs because that's all of those little guns can handle.
From Shazev's Gaming. Sorry if I butchered that. Stream sounds great. Maybe talk about how to prepare for a Milsim. I actually have a video on preparing for a wet and rainy Milsim, but it's pretty much the same. I pack all the same stuff for it, so check that out. It's on my channel. Do you have any videos about preparing for Milsim?
I do. There's a bunch. They're all just called gear prep. I mean, it's kind of it's weird. It's a horse that I feel like has been beat to death, but I guess it never can be because there's always new players coming in, and there's always new equipment to add on to existing equipment that makes life easier. I mean, that's the biggest thing about preparing for like Milsim West is getting the right equipment to make your life easier in the field.
Corey's on here, said to bring my unicorn shirt to Kansas. I will someday, hopefully. Oh, this is a good one. I'm going to my first. This is from Kale Not Kale. It's a Kale with a C, not Kale with a K. I'm going to my first Milsim here in Oklahoma in September, so here's my question. What's something that you didn't think that you would need but needed, or something that turned into a must for equipment? Love you and Jet, and watching y'all's stuff, and watching y'all and Operator Drewski is what got me started doing Airsoft.
Did he say what state?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. You definitely need bug spray.
Yeah. Bug spray. That is something that we always forget about, and then get out in the field and are like, yeah.
So in the summer months, like June to...
That might be if you live in Oklahoma, that might be a given already, but sometimes people just don't think about it. I didn't think about it.
If you in the summertime, you definitely need to have water. I mean, that's always, you always need to have...
A lot of water.
Yeah, you always need to have water on you.
I think people always underestimate for their first Milsims. I know my first Milsim, I definitely underestimated how much water I needed. And Jet was actually bringing me water in the field because I didn't realize how thirsty I was. And so he was like, here, drink this.
It happens to a lot of people. People tend to forget that they're not just strolling through the woods or some neighborhood mount facility. Like, you're actively running around carrying a bunch of stuff that you don't normally carry, and of course you're gonna get thirstier a lot quicker, and you're gonna be a lot more thirstier than normal.
Yeah. Do you have a flexible thumb or hitchhiker's thumb? SSL 1900. Is that Is that a hitchhiker's thumb? It
Your
is. It
thumb
does
goes,
bend, like yeah.
You can bend your thumb way
it's
further
hard.
than I can. This is it.
Yeah, it's hard for me to put it straight. I have to think about it.
Your thumb is like.
Yeah, they're both like that. I don't know
They're
why.
gonna be perpendicular to one another. How about you, Zoe? Oh, you don't have opposable thumbs.
Sorry about your no thumbs, Zoe. Feed Greed Boy said speed soft and competitive airsoft.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, obviously there's tons of different types of airsoft, mil speed, whatever, Milsim, speed soft, blah 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 blah. We're all essentially just running around with guns shooting at one another. The one thing that bothers me about any kind of competitive airsoft is there's no good way of tracking hits and like the score.
Yeah.
There is no scoring system for it really. Like every speed soft video that I've ever seen at a Speed QB tournament ends up with two people getting bunkered or someone bunkering someone and then both of them going, well, who got hit first? And then it's up to everyone's interpretation as to who got shot.
I do see a lot of complaints about cheating at those games because I mean, it's hard. They're very hard to it's very hard to control, and there's a lot of ricochets. People are dumping on each other, and so it's easier to cheat, I think. But also, there's always going to be, in anything competitive, everyone's going to always say that somebody's cheating too.
Yeah. Let's take paintball for example. Paintball, you're shooting a giant 68 caliber ball of paint at one another, and for anyone who's ever played competitive paintball, you know that doing that or your practices and all this other stuff, it's not so much about practicing how to get better at paintball, it's practicing how to cheat better at paintball. That's really what it is.
Does anyone have any advice on what I should get for my first fest? And I did see some other comments about your gear, what you should have for your first Milsim game. I have a go-to chest rig that I recommend to everybody for your first, when you're first getting into airsoft, but that's just because I really like it. I like it a lot because it has everything that you need and it's not super expensive. And I like not wearing a lot of gear or carrying a lot of gear, which I think is good advice for your first Milsim, because a lot of people, most of the people that end up quitting Milsims are quit because they're just wearing too much gear and they get worn out really fast, because you don't realize how much it's going to take out of you until you actually do it all day long. So this is the LBX Lock and Load chest rig. So I recommend this just because it comes with everything that you need. It already comes with pouches on it. This is the Snow Raptor, just because it was the closest one I could grab. So obviously you're not going to use this unless you're in a urban or snowy environment. But it has all the pouches. You can double stack mags on here, so you can fit 8 mags. There is pouches on the side for you can put smokes in there. I've carried smokes in here. Grenades fit in here as well. Your radio can fit in there. It also, also comes with a holster. So you can easily carry your pistol on your person too. And it has adjustable Velcro here, which is nice because I like not having to have a lot of stuff, so you can carry your pistol on your person, along with pretty much everything you need. If you have a dump pouch, you can attach the dump pouch here on the back side too. Plus, this works really well for anyone this can work for basically all sorts of frames. I can wear it, larger people can wear it, kids could wear it. As you can see, I have to keep mine cinched really tight.
You could probably put this on Zoe. You could wear it too, Zoe.
Yeah, and so that's why I just recommend this particular model, just because you can, everything works. You can use it, and you don't have to buy a lot of gear, so everything that you need is, it's like, I think this chest rig is like $70 or something. So everything you'll need for a whole day for $70. You can't beat that anywhere.
Yeah, and it comes in a ton of other colors. Like
oh yeah, it comes
in like normal colors. You don't have to get this wacky snow camo.
It comes in multicam. It comes in coyote, I think. It comes in ranger green. It comes in moss gray. It comes in everything. So you can get, you know, whatever you want.
Here you go. I saw a good question about someone wanting to know. Hold on, let me find it again. Elvis Rudan, what is your recommendation on the best way to carry sufficient water?
Carry enough water for the dents?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the rest. Basically, just asking. Yeah, basically asking what's the best way to carry water. Well, I mean, you can do a canteen, but depending on how long you're playing, the best way is to get like a Camelback hydration system that goes on your back. That's going to guarantee that you're going to have the most, or at least enough water for whatever you're doing. The canteens get a little bulky, and the water heats up a lot quicker too in canteens, and that kind of sucks.
There's actually a collapsible canteen that I've seen, and like collapsible water bottles. I used those before, and I like those. If you don't want to carry it on your back, then the collapsible part's nice because it gets smaller and smaller, and the more water you drink, so then you have less weight on you, and it takes up less space. A lot of times I'll end up carrying my water like in a pouch or a canteen or something. That's also for like Milsim West games because they have water bottles there, and you can go back and forth to your fob to get water. So you're usually not without water for more than like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So like a liter basically will last you about that long.
Yeah. But actually, the water bottles are not for, well, unless you're really dying. You're supposed to refill off the blivet, but
yeah, and if you die or
most of the time when you're returning back to the base, you're probably dead.
You're dead,
anyway.
So you have to drink a bottle of water.
I mean, regardless, they're not going to let you dehydrate on the field for the sake of saving water bottle lives.
Yeah, they won't. That's for sure. Here's one from Giuseppe. Hope I didn't say that super wrong. Question I have is, how much of your day-to-day life is spent around Airsoft?
All day, every day.
Yeah, pretty much. Almost every day. We're either talking about it or looking at it. Mostly talking about it. So, pretty much every day. How about the people from Brandon Davis? How about the people and friends you've made through Airsoft? How many still play? And who's wanting to get out to the field more?
I don't think anyone wants to get out on the field more than I do.
Yeah, well, Alphonse likes to be on the field a lot. Alphonse and Jet. Well, and Dayton. Yeah. You three could play Airsoft all day, every day, I think, and not get burned out. I can play it several times a week, but I still need breaks sometimes because I have other hobbies.
Baseball. There's baseball games to be watched. As for friends in Airsoft,
we've made a lot of friends.
Yeah.
We do have some friends that don't play as much as they used to, I guess. And that's kind of a bummer, but then we just make more friends.
Yeah.
More new friends.
Like a lot of the friends that I have now, from like a while ago, with maybe the exclusion of a very small handful, have all been through Airsoft.
Yeah. And a lot of people end up getting back into Airsoft like after they have kids. They'll stop playing when they have kids, and then they'll start playing again when their kids get old enough to play. Do you ever get bored of Airsoft? I think we just answered that one from Nacho Airsoft. Jamie Cooley, hey guys, will you be attending anything at Ballahack this year? Don't know yet. Hope that would be awesome. That's one of our favorite places to play.
I talked to Christopher about something. I forget what event. it was though. I think it was one of the zombie ones. But they just completed, let's see, they did that Wild West game.
Ooh, yeah.
And they had like a Wild West open world game that looked really fun. And then I think they had Fertile Crescent, Fertile Crescent, like the Spring Fertile Crescent I think is coming up. I saw that they had patches for it. I didn't look at the dates though.
Not sure either. NZ Photography says, what are some of the best events to go to? I'm back into Airsoft after years of putting it away. Bought my tickets to Surge on the Steps yesterday. Awesome. Hopefully we'll see you there. Not sure if we'll be there yet or not, but probably.
Probably. And then if you want to, so for that's Milsim West. That's like the extreme Milsim hardcore mode, if you will.
Yeah.
If you want
the Spartan race of Airsoft.
Yeah, if you want to dial it back a bunch, Desert Fox Airsoft events, where there's
casual.
Yeah, more casual.
More casual.
Larger scale casual games, and you get to use an app to direct yourself to all the objectives rather than just wandering around aimlessly asking people.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to type. How to be Nick Yashnik, how to be a super cool operator.
Oh.
That's right up your alley,
No.
man. I'm not an operator.
Neither am I.
Jet's the super operator over here. What's up, operators?
I'm calling all of them operators.
Let's see. How can I get good speed soft guns at low price, not brand new, just used, and
Speed
still won't
soft?
scam me? I would go into one of your local stores or ask around on Facebook. Usually if you can go to a store and talk to one of their techs, if they're a store that does a lot of upgrades, they might be able to point you in the direction of somebody that they know will not scam you. Because, well, I don't know if I want to say that because then I'm telling you not to buy from a store. But there are, if you get on HopUp, on that app, people have to vouch for each other and you can rate each other. So that's an app that you could use. For the most part though, you just have to get in sales groups or make that, well, no, you can't do that on Facebook anymore.
Honestly, just
make that personal connection, and then you have to actually get to know that person.
Yeah. I mean, ask for info when you're buying this stuff. Like, okay, so you want to buy a gun for speed soft, so you might be looking for something that has a super duper high rate of fire and is small or whatever. I mean, have the person send you a video of the gun shooting in their backyard, you know, with their watch or something, so you can validate the time or whatnot. You know, just get more proof. Don't just take everyone's word at face value. Get it backed up with some sort of proof. Pretend you're an investigator conducting an investigation.
Type E65, do you recommend a starter pistol to buy? Jet and Leah, I'm thinking of getting one. I think it depends on kind of what you're looking for. I have smaller hands, so I like smaller pistols. But a good go-to is one that I just had. The Elite Force 1911 TAC. And some people have had weird experiences with them, but I haven't. I have not had a bad experience with them. I just like them because they're CO2 powered, so they're a lot of fun to shoot, and it's full metal, so the recoil on it's pretty fun. My other favorite is, and this is like $100 too, so it's totally affordable. The other one that the other pistol that is one of my favorites is the P09 from Action Sport Games, and you can get that in CO2 as well. I just prefer CO2 over anything else.
Let me see that 1911 really quick. So I think partly why this gun does so well on the market is because it has just a bunch of features that you definitely want in a handgun.
Yeah.
You've got a threaded barrel, like perfect. You can put a suppressor, you can put a tracer unit. a nice rail system for lasers or lights or whatever. Even the sights you have, I forget what these sights are called. They're Novak sights, but the sights have dots on them, unlike other pistols that usually don't have anything.
That's ridiculous.
And then CO2 is definitely, in my opinion, the way to go. I do have green gas guns and use them, but if I have the opportunity, I am definitely going to use something CO2 powered. So those are a couple features that you would probably want to look for when buying your first pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
sure.
Anything else when it comes to like the make and model and stuff, it's really going to come down to your hand size and what you're looking for.
This is a good one from One Punch Airsoft. What events are must-go-to events for you in your airsoft seasons?
Milsim West. I mean, for me, it's obvious. It's Milsim West and Desert Fox events.
Yeah, Desert Fox events are some of my favorite games now because it's fun to do a less uber serious game. I mean, not to say that you don't take those games seriously, but you have a little more creative freedom as far as your outfits.
Mm-hmm. You have more creative freedom with your loadouts, so unlike maybe some other, okay, we'll just compare it to Milsim West because it's not, they're in two completely separate different realms from one another. So Milsim West, you have a very hardcore oriented game revolving around quite literally military simulation in which you're going to be doing things the military way because it's all run by veterans and they're going to follow those SOPs. In which, you know, you need to report to your squad leader, everyone has fire teams, there's tons of accountability on everybody, you've got guard duty, you're up for long periods of time. You know,
yeah, you don't get a lot of sleep at all.
Yeah, like a lot of people have this vision of like they're just gonna not sleep or something the whole weekend, and that's totally not the case. You're gonna hit that ceiling and then you're just gonna crash. I've seen it happen to a lot of people countless times.
I've seen a lot of people just barely sleep at those games too. I mean, like Chris, he sleeps like 2 hours the whole time. I don't know how he does it. That's insane.
But also, I mean, like, look at who that is. Military. Yeah, he's military. Like, you can't just jump into this without having done it prior. I think that's the thing that kind of separates a lot of the players is the players who have been doing it for a while are able to operate without lots of sleep as opposed to like the first timers who, you know, once that sun goes down, they're just like.
I am not one of the people that likes to operate without a lot of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get as much sleep as I can at those games because it's precious.
Now, on the other hand, you've got Desert Fox Airsoft events where it's not this strict military operation. I mean, there is infrastructure and there is organization within the game. Like, you know, your commanders are, you can always find out where the objectives are at, mainly because of the app. You can always get the information that you need to keep going in the game rather than having to rely on a single piece of leadership to give you direction.
Oh, this is a good one. That one kid, are you guys the same people on the airsoft field off camera? I think that Jed is way more fun off of the airsoft field sometimes. He gets pretty into LARPing sometimes. But I think we're pretty much, I don't know. I think you're a little more rehearsed on your channel. I think I'm pretty much the same as I am on my channel.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would agree with that, mainly because there's points of information that I am trying to get across to people, and so I have to rehearse that sometimes.
Brandon Davis, Jet's a method LARPer.
I am.
Like method acting.
Don't mess with my immersions.
Seriously. He's not joking. We've got more questions on tips for going to a first Milsim because I've never been to one, but I'm planning on going to Copperhead 5. Copperhead's a really fun one.
Yeah,
that's one of our favorites too.
I would like to go to Copperhead. I'm crossing my fingers that Copperhead and
it's alright. It's the same weekend as Milsim West. Yeah. It's Labor Day weekend.
Oh man, if only, I mean, there's only so many weekends in the entire year. It's hard.
Yeah.
But one day we'll attend Copperhead again. I will say, if you're preparing for your next Milsim and it's your first time, here's kind of what you need to do. You need to get on the website for the event producer. Make sure you read the rules.
Yes.
Definitely read the rules.
Oh my goodness, you'll have so much more fun.
Yeah, you'll have more fun. Yeah, everyone will have way more fun if you just read the rules. There's been so many events where, I mean, you guys have probably seen it on my channel where I've yelled at people, or you know, this is partly why I think people think I'm a dick on the field. But it's me trying to enforce the rules, because like, if you're not following the rules the way they're supposed to be, then you basically are just cheating, in my opinion.
No manipulating the windows doors. I'm all about people following the rules, and so I usually know them, and I sometimes get a little too heated yelling them at other people, because oh man, when people don't follow the rules, it ruins it for me, and that's one of my biggest triggers, because it's just like, you ruin the game for everybody when you break the rules.
Right.
Like, everyone's experience, it's not just a couple people whose experience is ruined. It's literally like hundreds of people whose experience you're ruining because you're a dum-dum and didn't read the rules, or you were talking during briefing, or you're just a jerk.
Right. And I mean, it's just like that with any sport. You wouldn't go to a soccer game and then just start running around with the ball. Like, that wouldn't make any sense. Like, that's obviously against the rules. And like, when people break the rules in the game, in Airsoft games, to me it's the same thing. Like, to be specific, one of the things that bothers me all the time, and I've been seeing it more, and I've been increasingly yelling at people, is people throwing water bottles at Milsim West games, across the field to revive someone. So like, you know, like, someone's in one bunker, the medic's in a bunker, and then someone who's down is in another bunker, maybe like 50 yards away, and they just chuck the water bottle into the other bunker and just have the guy drinking. Like, it doesn't work that way. The medic has to physically bring the water bottle to you, and you got to drink it in front of them. That's to simulate the medic giving you first aid. So when you don't follow the rules, you're just cheating.
I get the same way. This is a funny one. Tyriel in Q, how shocked were you when the riot shield guy came at you? It was very unexpected, even when watching. Yeah, it was totally weird. I was not expecting that at all. It was like, that guy just like starts running at me and like hits me with his riot shield, and I was, what the? It's my last video. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it, because I'm just like, what? You can't. After I'd shot his feet a bunch too. It's kind of funny. It's pretty funny. By the way, going back to riot shields and Airsoft are stupid. Don't like them. If you want to know our opinions on them.
What about bullet? Well,
if you have like an actual weighted riot shield that is like 70 pounds, like they're supposed to be, or 80 pounds, fine. But if you're just like running around with like a plastic shield, that's so unrealistic. That's not going to stop bullets. We shouldn't allow it. My opinion.
The correct term is a ballistic shield.
Oh, I saw this comment somewhere else, and it was, what guns are your favorite for going to Milsims, or what are the guns that you use the most often at Milsims? Sorry that I forgot whoever said that question. And that's why I brought this out, because I've seen that a lot of times. We use Crytek guns a lot, and usually at Milsims, because they're very consistent, they don't break, they're reliable, they shoot great out of the box, and I usually go for a longer barrel, so that way I have more range.
My gun's right over here.
Yell at me all you want for barrel. It doesn't necessarily mean range, but whatever. That's an argument for another time.
Oh man.
But I like to have something with some range if I'm going to be in a Milsim game. We have a ton of Cryteks, and so that's why I brought this out. If you can afford, or if I would recommend for a Milsim game, now you don't necessarily have to have a really well top performing gun for a Milsim, but I recommend it because the better your gun is, the more fun you have usually. It's not always true, but it's usually pretty true.
Here's my current go-to gun.
Yeah.
Minus the snow vest. We have put that on there, but this is an Elite Force HK 416 upgraded by the Evic Performance Shop. Oh man, this gun just rips. The tech service there is top notch. Like it's just so good. Everything that they've done to this gun makes it just amazing. The unfortunate thing is this is a NATO gun, and I don't really play on NATO that much. But any chance that I get to just use any kind of gun that I want, this is my immediate go-to. If you want to see it performing as well as possible, there's a video on my channel where I get an 87 player kill streak all in one life, mainly due to this gun, because it just shoots super far and insanely consistent.
Yeah. And it's, again, it's not necessary for your first Milsim, but you do have a lot more fun when you have a gun that has a lot of range, because at Milsims you generally need range. So it's nice if you have a gun that performs well for a Milsim game. Just my opinion. Arlisha Colin, hey Jet and Leah, would you all recommend the G&G Combat Machine 16 Raider? If so, what attachments would you use on it? I would love to see a noob loadout Airsoft game video. That's a good idea. Yeah. The G&G Combat Machine is a pretty decent first time starter gun. I would recommend it for if you're just getting into Airsoft, you're not sure if you want to play indoor, you're not sure if you want to play outdoor, you just kind of want to play. That's a good buy. It's like $150 or something, and it comes with everything that you need. Yeah, it might be less. So, and they hold up relatively okay. Just remember that it is an entry-level gun, so it's not going to last you for forever, but that's okay. Then you can just buy a better gun the next time.
Buy more guns, or upgrade that gun.
Yeah. People a lot of times talk about puller starring stuff, or HPA tapping it, or upgrading their gun. I tell everybody, don't buy a brand new gun just to take everything out and pay for a bunch of parts to put in. Wait until your gun breaks and then upgrade it, and then you'll have an amazing shooting gun, and you don't have to, it's just cheaper.
Yeah,
smart.
It's cheaper and a little bit more
That's how you
practical.
afford to be able to airsoft more often.
And get the gear you want. I see so many people drop thousands of dollars on their HPA system, and then they have like weird clothes that they're like raggedy clothes that they're going to the field, or the opposite. They wear nice clothes that they're trying to keep clean. That one always boggles my mind. Like, if you're gonna go to an airsoft game, you should expect to get dirty.
Yeah. And your gear is made to get dirty, so it's okay. It can get dirty, it can get wet, it can get muddy, it can everything. It can handle all the elements.
Come on, Zoe. Come over.
Hey Zoe, do you want to sit right here in the middle and say hello to everyone? Come on.
Come on, you can be in the video
there.
too.
Now Zoe's in the video, everybody.
Alright Zoe, how do I prepare for my first Milsim? Thanks.
Edo Gaber? Sorry, I butchered that. Are you going to reopen Desert Fox Field again?
Yes, eventually.
Yes, it's happening. It's just taking longer than we had hoped. Hi, Zoe. Ed Jack, do you guys showcase your airsoft guns for seeing? Like how some people have theirs on display?
Not really.
No, not really.
I mean, they're up in the garage on like racks and stuff, but that's mainly so I can find the guns quicker, or I should say we can find guns quickly to figure out what loadouts and equipment we want to bring to certain games.
Oh, I also asked this, what do you guys want to hear me talk about on Instagram? So if any of you on Instagram don't already follow me, I'm the Tactical Unicorn on there. I'm going to take a few of the questions from there, and I'll also be answering some questions on the live stream. How long have we been streaming?
I don't know, just keep going, it doesn't matter.
We're gonna keep going. Why not?
Keep going till the cows come home.
Brandon asked, what are your thoughts on the tri-shot shotguns? All shotguns should be tri-shot, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
Look at you, GMP.
Yeah, there's so many.
And your single BB shotguns that look amazing.
Yeah, so dumb.
Elite Force just came out with a new tri-shot shotgun.
Yeah.
I want to try them. It looks good. I haven't seen much from it though. And then I believe UTG or someone just came out with another round of tri-shots as well. It's on the EVIC website.
Oh, someone asked where we got the racks to mount our guns. You can get stuff like that at like hardware stores or like Home Depot, Lowe's. Yeah. You can also buy actual real gun racks for them, but they're more expensive. They're really expensive, so I'd recommend just making your own. Ooh, pulled pork or ribs?
Pulled pork.
I think so too. I like ribs a lot, but I just really like pulled pork.
But it also depends on where the pulled pork is coming from. Yeah. The further south you are, I feel the better it tastes.
Yep, that's true. Oops. Silent Bullet asks, is it hard to tell if you've been shot by a BB with full gear? It's a funny name for that question. Silent Bullet.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And
that's also why I don't wear a lot of gear, because then no one can accuse me of cheating, because I wear as little gear as possible anyway.
So a lot of people accuse me of.
Excuse you, Zoe.
Jeez. A lot of people accuse me of overshooting.
Nice. Hope you could all hear Zoe hacking up. Whatever.
I like to give people a lot of BBs just because I'm trying to remove any doubt in their head that, oh, that was a ricochet, or oh, what was that? Like, if you just, for lack of a better term, you just annihilate somebody and they go, okay, you know that they're definitely hit and they're out of the game. If you're just hitting people with a single BB, that gives them way more premise to just look around. And I mean, if someone does have a lot of gear on, like at Milsim events, it's going to be that much harder for them to feel it, especially in adverse weather like rain or snow, where everyone has tons of layers. So imagine you're playing in cold weather. You probably have a bottom. You probably got some like long johns or thermals on, and then you've got your battle dress uniform or combat shirt or whatever, and then you might have another jacket or plate carrier or something over that. That's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
For people not to feel BBs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it does, sometimes I do get a little carried away, I will say that, but I've been playing this game for so long that I'm just so sick of hitting people once or twice only to have them run away or immediately turn around and shoot me.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. I saw another question from Nick Camp earlier that was asking where I got the Spanish camo, and I've had a few people ask me where I get the different or the foreign camos that I have, and most of those have come from being in different gear collecting groups on Facebook, and that is where I've been able to buy any international patterns. I've had to find them from gear collectors because you can't really get any international patterns here in the U.S. commercially, except for Amped Airsoft carries some Russian gear, and EVIC carries UF Pro, which some Russians use. But that's it.
More European.
Yeah, European, but
another source.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Another source, if you really want to find like, I guess exotic camo or camo from foreign countries, eBay is a good place to look too.
Yep.
Again with that's kind of like not getting scammed about stuff. You really got to know what you're looking for and pay attention to the sizes. The sizing is where a lot of people get messed up because European sizing and American sizing and vice versa aren't the same.
I would recommend getting in gear collector groups just because that way you can learn from other people that have been doing it a lot longer what is legit, what isn't, learn from other people's experiences as well, because a lot of those people have some sort of knowledge about gear collecting that they can share with you, and do's and don'ts and stuff. My Spanish camo I got from being in a Spanish impression group. My Russian camo I've gotten from being in Russian impression groups. I also got a lot of it from Gray Shop. But with Gray Shop, just they're good sometimes and sometimes they suck. It's like hit and miss.
Sometimes you get your stuff and sometimes
it doesn't come until like 6 months later. Yeah. It's crazy. You never know with them sometimes. Okay. D&D Delta Dogs. My daughter Hope and I love the channel. It's one of the first ones we watched when we started Airsoft 4 years ago. Airsoft has come a long way since then.
It has.
There's definitely a lot more girls in Airsoft now. Thank goodness.
Yeah. I actually saw at Airsoft Palooza, this last one, I actually saw a dad and daughter combo. I felt kind of bad because I don't know. I felt like the dad wasn't communicating some things very well to the daughter. Like there was one game where the daughter was just in the doorway of the game start, and if you've ever played at High Ground you know that there's only 2 doors out of the respawn buildings, and this little girl was just standing in it at the beginning of the game start, and I could tell everyone was like, "Go, go, go! Wait a minute, let's not run this 10-year-old over."
Yeah.
And like the dad was even kind of clueless, and I was like, please.
He may have not been. I don't know. What was going on.
I'm not sure. I wanted to kind of help them out a little bit more, but I didn't really get a chance. I had only seen them in that one game, and then after that I didn't see them like on the playing field.
Let's see. Cash Money has asked a bunch of times what is a good scope that he can get and where can he get it. And a couple people have asked what scope is on your 416.
Oh, this is a GMP ACOG replica. It is a 4x zoom with a fake fiber optic here on the top with a honeycomb like lens glare protector, basically.
Yeah.
I highly recommend getting one of these if you're running a mil-spec type optic, just because number one, it's going to protect against BBs, and number two, it's a kill flash. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
It'll reduce the glare off of your lens to enemies.
And that's an actual real thing in Airsoft. I've spotted a lot of people just from the glare off of their scope. It's not just in the movies, it's real.
However, I mean, optics are just...
I thought it was just in the movies, and then I saw it one time and I was like, wow, it is real! Got him!
The lines of Airsoft and Hollywood are blurred once again. In terms of picking an optic for yourself, you just need to figure out what look you're going for. The most important things when you're choosing an optic, actually to me the most important thing is the eye relief. And the eye relief is the distance from your eye to the optic. So you don't want to be super up close to it like this, and you don't want to have to be super duper far away. You want it to be at a good distance, probably like that or so, or a comfortable distance where you can just aim down the gun and then look down your optic with ease.
I really like reflex sights. Those are my favorite because they're so easy. It's just easy. That's really why. That's why I like them, just because they're easy. And I think they look good on guns too.
Yeah, yeah. I usually prefer red dots and reflex sights for indoor,
my battery died.
And for outdoor play, I usually do something between a 2 to 4 times zoom. There's also variable scopes that you can get too, which you adjust the level of magnification between 1 to 4. And I usually put those on my longer barreled rifles that are not going to be mil-spec. Like this gun, obviously, I'm trying to keep as mil-spec as possible. Again, this is not the normal flash hider that's on here. Leah had it on here because this is actually a tracer unit.
Yeah, I had the tracer unit on there, so I could so I could capture some stuff.
I believe you can get the optic on Evic.
Evic's a good place. You can find everything at Evic. If you can't find it, just look on Evic.
Yeah, like
I found it, they got it.
Yeah, I found some stuff that I was like, I don't like. Asia didn't even have it, and it was on Evic.
Let's see. How many optics have you shot out in games, Greybush? Who knows?
We've shot other people's out, or like
I guess,
we've
had ours shot out.
We've had a bunch shot out.
A lot for both of them. Do you have to get an actual gun sight for an airsoft gun?
No.
No. It's not really necessary. I mean,
no.
It's not. It's just, that's a lot of money to spend on.
Replicas are just fine. And half the time, quite honestly, I know 50% of you are not aiming whatsoever with any kind of optic, and probably 25% of you are actually aiming, and then the other 25 are like this weird in between.
I saw Alphonse on here earlier. If he's still in here, let's talk about how
he's in the in between.
Let's talk about how he likes to. What was it that he was saying? Talking about how he only focuses on accuracy, but his sight doesn't work.
He's in the in-between. He's using his sight, but not really. It's not dialed in, so he's like half aiming, half seeing where the BB's going.
Oh, that was so funny. Love you, Alphonse. Let's see. Felipe Gustavo, how precise does an AEG have to be for an optic to be worth it?
It's not even about, that's completely the wrong way of thinking about that. Your AEG, all AEGs are somewhat accurate. It's on you to be able to learn your gun inside and out and be able to put the BB on target. So what I do before games is I go off somewhere where no one's around, so I've got a lot of space, and I pick distances at which I think the distances of cover to cover are going to be. So like in a forest, I'll pick a tree maybe that's, at a distance that I think that I'm going to be engaging people at. Like trying to figure out that average distance of engagements, and then sighting my dot in, or at least knowing where the BB is going to hit in my optic or in what area of the dot to be able to make those shots. Like that's the only way I can explain it. And I'm sorry if I didn't explain that super clear.
One Shot just donated $5.
Oh,
thanks, man. Really appreciate that. That's awesome. Asking if we're going to be at Bad Blood next weekend.
Oh no, we won't.
So, sorry to disappoint.
We will not. But if you do want to come play Airsoft with us, we'll be back 30 days after Bad Blood for Desert Fox events.
If you come to Desert Fox events, they'll give you $5 off your ticket. Why not? Neon Viper, do you ever use offset iron sights?
No. The offset iron sight stuff is anything that's
It doesn't really work for offset, because if you tilt your airsoft gun, then your BB is going to curve.
Yeah, remember all airsoft BBs have a trajectory of up and then back down. As soon as you start manipulating the gun, or as soon as you start rotating the gun on this axis, you're now sending the BB to the left or right of the target. So the best way to shoot your airsoft gun is straight up and down like this. If you're trying to shoot someone around a corner, or maybe get that BB to curve a little bit, you can start rotating it slightly. But once you start doing that and you're trying to shoot someone ahead of you, you're always going to miss to the left or the right.
Unless you're trying to curve around corners.
Or you defeat wind.
Yep, that's when I tilt my gun. Brian is asking, what about radios? What would you recommend for a Milsim and general airsoft games?
Yeah, I mean, any form of communication that you have with your teammates is always going to be ideal.
Yes.
Whether it be at a pickup game with just some radios, at a Desert Fox event using the Blue Fox Tracker app that gives you direct communication to every single person on your team who is also using the app.
If you go to a Milsim, I would recommend getting a Baofeng. A Baofeng is a radio that almost everybody has, and get a antenna for it, a long antenna. What do they call it?
I gotta get my antenna.
Anyway, get a long. The long antennas extend the range because you'll definitely need that at bigger Milsims, and especially Milsim West games, because you won't be able to reach all the way across the field unless you have the long antenna.
You say antenna funny to me.
Antenna? Antenna.
Like, I think you...
Antenna. Antenna. I don't
Antenna.
know. Antenna.
Antenna. Sounds like a girl from Texas.
Oh, Mikey McFarland said he's wearing a cowboy outfit to Citadel Retaliation. That's awesome.
Woo-wee.
I want to do a cowboy outfit for I'm not going to do one for that game, but I definitely want to do one for some point for a DFE game. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah, for those that are planning on attending DFE games, we are going to start, well, I'm going to start trying to put together kit lists or uniforms for my faction that I'm going to play on, so that way we can all match and have cool photos.
Wow.
So, that's just something that I want to do. If you don't, that's fine. That's why we have the uniform rule set we do, so you can be an individual and custom, and
that's
just
me.
have free range of whatever you want to be.
That's what I like. Tell Jed I wedge 6756. Tell Jed I get mistaken for him a lot at my local airsoft field.
Oh, you must be a brown Filipino as well.
Yeah. You must also be brown.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens a lot. Deontay Miller is asking best Glock gas blowback pistol. Just curious.
There is no best. There is no best.
Well, you can't legally buy one other than an Elite Force one in the United States. You're not supposed to be able to anyway.
Huh? What do you mean? I don't get it.
A Glock, a Glock gas blowback pistol?
Oh, was he asking what the best? Wait. Say
Yeah.
that?
What is the best Glock gas blowback pistol?
Oh, I thought you said just what is the best blowback pistol. What is the best one?
The best Glock one. So
I don't know.
the only company that makes legal Glock pistols is Elite Force, and the only one that sells them right now in the United States.
Okay. I think I'm reading too much into that question.
I guess so.
You can only buy Elite Force Glocks. There you go. End of story.
Yeah, everything else is if you buy it. Well, Glock has sued a bunch of people that have tried to.
Yeah, Glock is gonna sue them.
They'll hunt you down and find you. I don't know how.
There's no support for them too, so like as soon as it breaks, you're gonna have to buy another one just to part it, just to get those parts for your broken. Like it doesn't make sense. Just buy Elite Force Glocks.
Zoran Kilfang donated $5. Thank you.
Thanks.
And he said thank you for taking me on an Airsoft Palooza with my foam swords.
Oh.
I started a trend here at High Ground. Everyone wants to take me on now. Yeah, the foam swords are a fun way to spend your downtime.
Yeah.
Foam sword fights are always fun. Always fun. Thank you for bringing them. And thank you for the donation. Really appreciate it. Connor Parks, have you seen those new Russian-style grenades by Taggin?
Yeah, we were supposed to have them at Milsim West Missouri front, but something happened and the order didn't come in. I don't know. I'll get my hands on one eventually.
Brandon Davis is asking, is the AEG Vector as good as the KWA? Well, one's AEG and one's gas blowback, so it's hard to compare them. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the AEG Vector. It just doesn't have the trigger response I would like. That's my personal opinion. Yeah,
I'm kind of meh on the Vector AEG. I have one. I use it for CQB and stuff, but it's not like a gun that I'm like fiending to want to use all the time. Although I do still have a gas blowback one with 3 magazines.
Brian Waitert is asking again. Wait, what'd you just ask? I lost it. Oh no, he said, sorry I'm spamming, but it was a good question. Whoops.
Oh no.
Oh no, I lost it. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry. That one kid, how should I react to Milsim players bashing on my fun full autoing me because I'm a speed softer. They tell me stuff like learn how to play, you mean word, you're a speed QB belt, get a plate carrier.
That's the first time I've heard of Milsimmers bullying.
Really?
Speed QB. Well,
I see it on both sides. I see people bullying each other on both sides. It's hard. I mean, I'll be honest. We have people say stuff to us like that like basically everywhere we go. There's always someone that like wants to be a badass. Really the best thing you can do is just ignore them and be better than them. I noticed that whenever people always try to talk trash on Jet and I when we go to fields, although not always. There's always one or two people that are there to just like talk trash. And if we beat them on the field, then they get mad and go home.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to do. Just beat them on the field, and then they get mad and quit. And you're still having way more fun than they are.
Yeah, there's been weird instances where people come to events that, like, they know Lee and I will be there with the intention of trying to ruin our day or our fun or whatever it is that we're there for, and then end up getting blasted by either me or somebody else, and then their fun gets ruined, and then they're still mad at us.
Or it's not even us, it's just somebody that is like wearing the same gear as us or something.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean,
yeah.
The best thing to do is just ignore bullies like that. Like,
get your own crew of badasses and just beat them on the field, and then they'll cry and go home.
Yeah.
Mongoose said, haven't been airsofting in about 2 years. Any tips on returning?
Just go to a field.
Just do it, and you'll be glad that you did.
Yeah, that's it. Just come on back.
If you have any friends that you used to airsoft with, get them to go back and play airsoft with you, or see if you can revive any airsoft friendships that you had. Airsofters always seem to be glad to find more airsofters.
More friends to be on, to go play airsoft with. Yeah.
Let's see. I'd be so nervous to meet you guys. I'm a big fan, Mikey. Don't be nervous. We're really nice.
We're just normal people.
Yeah, don't be afraid to come and talk to us. Just don't hover. The weirdest thing that people do is when they just hover and stare, like hover within like 5 to 10 feet of us and just stare. I would rather people just came and talked to us. When people just hover and stare, it kind of weirds me out a little bit. Cash Money is an LVOA, a good gun to have. If only I could get one gun for a very long amount of time, would that be a good gun? I don't want to do any upgrades, really.
Yeah, the LVOA is a really good gun.
Good. It's front heavy, so be prepared for that.
It's not a very balanced. That's its only downside is it's not a very balanced gun. It's a very unique looking gun, and it does shoot very well.
Yeah, I like it. I have a video of me killing Knobridge with it, actually. Let's see. I'll take a few more, and then I'm gonna wrap up this live stream because I'm getting hungry. We're gonna go eat for date night. Alex Fetter, how much fun was the Springer shotgun game, Jet?
Which one?
They're all fun.
I mean, spring shotguns are fun.
Have we had a spring only shotgun?
The last one I can remember was
We've had a spring only game.
The EVIC private game at Project N1 where we all had shotguns. So here's the great thing about just using a shotgun. All you have to do is pack that gun, the shells, BBs, and a loader, and you're ready to play. There's no having to like charge stuff, like put gas in something. There's no worrying about putting batteries or making sure the battery is charged. You just load up the shells with BBs, get on the field, and just start blasting people.
Here's a good one. What gram BBs do you guys use?
Elite Force .28.
2/8, yes. I am not a fan of using really heavyweight BBs. I know that some other people are, but I think that if you go over like
well, 3.2. If you go over 3.2,
yeah, if you go over 3.2, I think you're just being mean.
Good level,
honestly.
Yeah. It also depends on what guns we're using. Some of our guns work better with heavier weights, and some of our guns work fine with low to heavy weight. Like this gun in particular works best with 3.2s, but I can shoot 2.5 or 2.8s out of it. My ENL AK, what is it? I forget the name. The Tarek AK works absolutely best with .28s. I don't know why, but I put 2.5s in it on Sunday and I couldn't hit anybody.
Just 2.8s is the magic number.
2.8s is the magic number for that gun.
I like 2.8s for pretty much everything.
That gun. That's a nice gun. The paint job.
Have you? Gsofter 556 asked what fields have you guys been to in NorCal? We've been to Fort Ord, Game Pod. It was AO13. I don't know what it's called now. It's in Hollister, outdoor field in Hollister. I don't know what they call it now. I've also been to Playland, which is in Santa Rosa, I believe. Those are the 4 fields I've been to.
I grabbed 2 AKs. So this is the Tarek AK. This gun works absolutely the best with Elite Force .28 gram BBs. I don't know why. That's just what it wants to shoot, and that's what it shoots most accurately with. It's got a bunch of Zenetco furniture on it, and that paint.
It's heavy.
Yeah, the paint job is done by me. And one gun that shoots well with just about any BB weight is the Bolt AK-74U. This gun's nickname is Little Crank.
He's been having a lot of fun with that, and he hasn't broken it yet. I'm really surprised you have not broken it yet.
No, there's not a battery in here. Yeah, this gun is has a heavy recoil. This is probably one of the most fun airsoft guns that we have in our collection. In my opinion.
I haven't even played with it yet.
You haven't? Oh, you should play with it.
Because you've been playing with it.
You can use it next time we go play.
Oh, thanks. Have you guys been to North Carolina? Yes, we went for...
I used to live in North Carolina.
Yeah, Jet was stationed there for a while, and we went to Fulda Gap.
Yeah,
that game's crazy.
War Game Command Decisions, I think is the name of the field.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And then what other field is there? I think that's it.
Well, Fate of Giants in North Carolina too, isn't it? Was?
Yeah.
Or GTI.
GTI.
GTI is in North Carolina.
So when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, there was, I don't remember what the field was called.
Zoe, come on.
But it's in Jacksonville.
Come on.
If you know what that field is called, comment on it. But I used to play there every Sunday with everybody else in that area.
Come on, Zoe.
And I've actually met some people over the years that have also played there at the same time that I played there. That's always a trip.
Type E65 is asked a couple times. Jet, how was your experience in Insurgency with Swamp Sniper?
It was fun. Christopher is one of my favorite airsoft buddies. Yeah. It's always a fun time with him. So anytime that him and I get to play with one another, play airsoft with one another, I know it's going to be fun and hilarious. Also,
Legion 117 Legion has commented several times that his brother is a corpsman in the Navy too.
Awesome. Make sure to thank him for his service.
Bill Thompson, when will Unicorn Militia gear be available? The Desert Fox website still says coming soon.
We've had some
next year maybe?
Yeah, we've had some logistics problems with the Desert Fox website. I'm terribly sorry if you did order from us and you didn't receive something. I did go back personally and refunded just as many people as I could that I knew did not receive products.
Yeah.
We're trying to get that inventory available on eBay, which is going to be better for shipping and stuff. So sorry again if you did.
We basically had somebody that was not shipping out any of our stuff.
Yeah.
And then just never shipped anything out again. So
yeah.
That was a bad experience. Um, DC Berg said the field is Southfield. If you're thinking of that, the only one I knew in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I played there when I was at Lejeune. Probably so. But
Pretty much anyone who gets stationed at Lejeune that plays Airsoft has to go to that field because it's like the only place. The only other place to go to is Myrtle Beach. I forget what that field is called. It's actually a really big field, and it's really fun. I played like half a day there, and then the game got canceled because of a tornado or a hurricane or
storm.
Some huge storm came in and canceled the game.
Okay, I'm gonna stop with last question so we can go eat.
Ew, toilet breath.
Ghost Gaming, what is your favorite Airsoft moment? I have a lot of them.
There's a lot of those.
Let's talk about some of our favorite Airsoft memories. My first Milsim West was one of my favorite Airsoft memories just because we had a lot of fun with a group of friends. That was a really fun bonding experience. Any time that I've gotten a lot of kill streaks, those are all favorite memories, obviously. I don't know, there have been so many games that I've had so much fun at. I think probably my favorite memories are getting to travel internationally for Airsoft, though. Just anytime I get to travel, that's great.
Yeah, for me, going to Taiwan to go compete at the G&G competition, that was a fun memory. Let's see, the last year's Insurgency game at George Air Force Base, that was probably the most fun that I've had.
I love Insurgency games. I have so much fun at those games.
You can watch that video. It's the extremely close combat video. That's a video that you gotta watch. Let's see, me and Navarich and I sniping at Hill 559.
Yeah.
And then us going to Balahac and playing in the rain there. That was a hilarious time. I'm trying to think.
I always have a lot of fun at Balahac. That's a good place to go.
One memory that sticks out that's actually not a fun memory is last year in Mexico, where Leah just destroyed her ankle.
Yeah, someone asked about it in the stream, which I'm still.
You're a little bit better, but
I'm
not
better.
100%.
I'm not 100%. I still can't really run yet.
Nope.
So I'm wearing an ankle brace. I wear like a RoboCop ankle brace to play Airsoft in. I can run wonky. I just look ridiculous.
Oh, one of the best memories I have playing Airsoft with you, I think it was the first or second broken home that you went to, we're trying to, of course, defend Colville, because it's like the only thing to do with that game.
Yeah.
And you come running up from somewhere, and you're like, I've got something. I'm like, what do you have? And you go, I've got a pea grenade.
Yeah, listen, we needed it at that moment.
Yeah, you're like, I've got this pea grenade. And then you still let me throw it, even though I was like, no, you throw it.
I'd never thrown one before, and so I didn't know, I didn't even know how to,
Yeah, you didn't know how to ignite it.
It was the kind that you have to, take the cap off and strike it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never seen those before, and so I had no idea. I was like, here you go.
Yeah, 'cause I was like, there's a guy right over there, just throw it on the other side of that piece of cover, and you're like, you do it.
Yeah, if I have grenades and people know exactly where other people are, I give out grenades a lot. So if you're in the shit sometime at an Airsoft game and you see me, yell at me. I probably have a present for you. I'm the grenade fairy a lot.
Yeah, or you can give it to me, and I'm Joe Montana with that. No, Stephen Curry, that's who it is.
Yeah.
From downtown.
Okay, Zoe.
Nothing but
start
frag.
paying attention to you. Look how jealous she is of you guys. She's so jealous of the internet. Okay, Jet and I are gonna go eat. now. Thank you everybody for joining in on this live stream and hanging out. Thank you so much for the super chats, for watching. I will have a bunch of new videos out next week for sure, starting Monday. So I'm going to try to be uploading Mondays and Wednesdays because those seem to be the days that everybody likes the most. And if you don't follow Jet Desert Fox on YouTube, do it. Thanks, guys.